大师，人中有什么呢？我们今天的主题是 Beatles。It all happened very fast. At the start of 1963, the Beatles were still playing small clubs or performing as an opening act for another band. And that March, the first single came out in England was called Please Me. And it became a big hit of British charts, now with a list of best-selling records. Even the early songs, the Beatles sound special, and two lead singers who John and Paul, who knew and performed with harmonies together, and their songs are always catchy, cheerios, and the band loved the happiness of the part and now has been caught on. The spells of the Beatles in the half-hour of issues and popular trains that other weird flavors of England in place of described experiments in Beatle now. In the United States, the Beatles were still unknown, and the first song in the U.S. was such a flag a record company got rid of them, and the rights of the Capitol Records won. Capitol was slow out with a new song. Brian is out with the phone yelling managers. He said that I Want to Hold Your Hand would be a big hit. Brian was right, and the song went number 1. On February 7, 1964, Beatlemania hit America on the bridges of Kennedy Airport in New York City, competing for nervous young men, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, coming to America for the very first time, and they had also road stars from England before. They cut everything over there, George said about the United States before they have a picture about their one's us. Brian didn't have any thoughts and so telling all the rules with the youth of them will play to the Beatles, Blues, and Brian Wright, and thousands of screaming teenagers saw the language in the airports. The Beatles were cute. Girls pushed themselves up against the fence, searching them for the airplane with John, Paul, George, and Ringo playing with the fence on the Beatles' wing. In an airport, Beatles and present conference reported and hurling polite answers to rock and rollers. Even Elvis Costello reporter searched for Beatles made shows. One of the reporters in the singlet, "We need money first," John said, giving everyone a good laugh. Soon reporters were scribbling down every word of Beatles and spoke. Two days later, Beatles would stay with 5 songs and Ed Sullivan show. And one day of the history when more than 73 million people across the country watched. That was almost half of everyone in the United States. When it was over, the Beatles performed many sold-out concerts, including 2 at a famous concerts hall in Manhattan. Is always tradition also how when British has become popular in America, with traditional shows of with 5 of their shows or versions of when England the famous Beatles. This was the British versions of the shoes in Liverpool of They Our Mercy sound after. the Mersey River, which runs in Liverpool. Beatlemania didn't just mean selling concerts or making numbers on reports in a girls' community and boys wearing their hair long. The Beatles and London Kids of the 60s heard when Frank Sinatra dressed in the Beatles to the Pirates. In 1964, the Beatles made a first movie, A Hard Day Night. A lot of the action in the movie rent the ratings of the fans and big hit of Jean Paul and the visuals of Long and the four-guy Liverpool of Fat Four were even bigger than Elvis, and they were so young and inexperienced, though, and sometimes made mistakes. Sean once told a reporter that Beatles were more popular than Jewish right now. Many people were deeply offended. Some people were invited through the Beatles and thus to train their critically apologize for the issues of the band and last year for so many more than the Beatles. Being rock stars wasn't easy. There were recording new songs that the Beatles would pack on their suitcase were next to the rest and then with 50 days on the concerts in the United States. Then fans were so crazy that when shows the Beatles play inside of the 6-foot high cage of their heads tour. The Beatles had leave a families of the children special high. Why would the baby son so rarely a chance to see them? What if they didn't play any more concerts instead of creating a music studio and writing this idea? He wanted them to continue play concerts and they would have continue playing concerts and continue making lots of money. And the Beatles had their idea. They spent more of their money running around with the fans and wanted huge runs and autographs and wouldn't go of the restaurant anymore. After a concert, the fans chased out with the band's nurses back and forth, hoping they didn't have with band members. Luckily, John, Paul, George, and Ringo had faked them out. The boys would sneak secretly out and hiding without an ambulance and would secretly out. And this may sound fun, but it wasn't. Even performing the tracks. Now there's more shows when smoke clouds, Beatles were building a zone with cities fans of the floor of the streets of hills were screaming loud and putting themselves place of the sun and then lots on the stage. And that was around his rainbow set of their nose and John everything. John and Paul reasons were very fed up. Their friends joined to their concerts only wanted to hear old hits and their songs they knew the words to. Against Brian wishes, Beatles began to spend more time in the studio. The early song had been very simple. She loves you and I want to hold your hand were fast, happy tunes and words, and everybody understood the newer songs were different. The first dramatic change came yesterday. Dream. The song was set out in almost lost Southern Polish voice supported and Carter, a classic musician. Yesterday became one of the group's most popular songs and realized in 1965 since then more than 3,000 other musicians recording the song, a report by the Book of World Records. Up until 1965, the Beatles heard on their head shows of their call and cover of their songs, and now have Beatles in there to rebel so was instructed only with Beatles. It was really interested by the analysts of the Rutu Setter of India instrument and the highest as Spanish trumpet player and song. On the other hand, something that's very strange on records guitar. They held backwards on the song Tomorrow Never Knows, but lots of the voice instruments are voiced backward. These were now often different to figure out the of the Beatles could play. So Tomorrow Never Knows in the concert. There was too complicated for whoever had the Beatles tried and it didn't work. They were unhappy and rules of the first concert tours. And the concert came on August 29, 1966. The San Francisco fire was upset. They worried about that rock bands that didn't play concert couldn't stay popular. Other people were confused. Rumors spread and brokens of George's mother Louise and answered 100 letters from friends. The Beatles not quite and she wrote an album to make, and the Beatles more freedom to marry, and they spent a lot of time with their families and went to art shows and even movies again. But most of all, they made music. They tried new types of songs, and so Harris specifically playing a long single recording more time and record. Rhymes are changing and the music is starting in the late 50s and later simpler time back in late 1960s. Many young people are angry at the war their parents have made. They were angry about the U.S. government waging war in Vietnam. They're angry about Africa, angry over how African Americans were treated, angry about the big companies colluding in planning transit such a Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and writing powerful wrote his song and the Beatles wrote in You Need Is Love of national TV for the song Gathering the Circle of the Friends and Hell Hands of the another song Revelation started with a long guitar when Beatles sang angrily about who started the world. 谢谢大家顺便点赞了，不要记住小铃铛，什么见的话在底下留言，那么下回见，拜。